You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might
you
grab
are
a
looking
bat, I
at
don't
the
know, my
youngest
rap,
and
my blood
fastest
boils
rising
over
star
like,
in
oh God, here
professional
goes. I
wrestling
lost all
today.
feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you had such a fucked up real bad.
Shut up.
Hey, welcome everyone to the Hail the Ring podcast. I am BXP Jedi Kev, the Don of the watch-alongs. Today I'm going to review the NXT 2.0, but I got some main men with me here. Today I got the one and only Terrence. Salute, Terrence.
Yo, what's going on? What's up, boss?
All
You
right.
good?
Phenomenal.
Good.
And then I got my main man to my right, always, the Samurai. Salute, Samurai.
Hello, how you doing?
There you go. You got it, man. Who could be better than you? No one can. So let's get to some NXT 2.0. We saw the show kicks off with the one and only Zoey Starks opening up a promo, talking to the fans, appreciation of the fans, the hard work of during her injuries, talking about her injuries back in Halloween Havoc, her torn ACL that was almost out of the off the bone, her promo in the ring and what she's accomplished, how hard she works, a woman who fights through all injuries. Mostly, she was a polished worker on the microphone. Before we go further, let me ask you, Terrence, when you saw Zoey Stark, or was that a welcoming sight when we saw her at the Battle Royal last week, 2 weeks ago? What was your thoughts when you saw her return?
You know, I have to be honest. I wasn't like too familiar with Zoe Stark. Like I've heard of the name before, and like I may have seen her a little bit in the ring before, but that obviously she's a big deal because when she came back last week and that reaction, she talked about it herself in her promo. As soon as she came back, that reaction, I was like, oh wow, she's a tremendous talent. And then for her to, get that reaction, it was crazy. So I respect that.
Indeed. Samurai, her injuries first said it was going to be a year long, the ACL torn, and she did it in 4 months, her hard work and dedication. Now, I know we rely on you a lot for being the resident NXT guru here who watch NXT from the black and gold, now transitioning into the 2.0 era. I know she was a former tag team champion. Now, seeing her and her microphone skills and seeing her and capturing the Battle Royal, what are we, us that are, let's say, listening for the first time, seeing us Zoey Stark, what are we expecting from her?
Well, you're expecting, a lot. I mean, her return was a shocker for most, because she replaced what's her name, Saray, who actually was on the show today. We'll talk about that when we get to it. So she's actually not a bad promo, and a very decent wrestler as well. I mean, I really don't know what else to add to it, but she's actually, a really good, hand. She's actually intertwined in 2 storylines, if you think about it. One with not Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade as well. So she's in 2 storylines at the same time. So that actually says something about, her character and how she's going to pull it off.
Speaking of that, we all know that she's challenging Mandy Rose, want to get revenge on Toxic Attraction and Mandy Rose for injuring her. But before she's addressing that she wants a title shot at the Women's NXT Championship, we get an interruption, like you mentioned. We have Cora Jade out in the balcony, interrupting her promo, interjecting herself. Now, I'm going to ask you, Terrence. Me personally, I love the heel turn from Cora Jade. I even like the whole look. For some reason, she dropped the childish young little girl look, and now she's looking like a woman, a heel woman. And to me, it looks I'm looking at a different set. What's your thoughts?
Man, I watched her for a little bit, for some time, and I didn't really like. It's kind of similar to like AJ-ish a little bit, but now seeing that switch in her, it feels more like, I don't want to say more, maybe she's on the dark side. I like it. It's more towards like, because when AJ, and I'm gonna keep going back to this, but when AJ first came into the business, she wasn't too like girly as far as like like too bubbly or nothing like that, but you can tell she had something. And then when she kind of turned and had her own little thing, this is kind of like that a little bit, but just a little bit more. I feel like I'm going to enjoy it a lot more. It's a little bit more like darker-ish, turning her back on a friend and stuff like that. And then, not to jump ahead too much, but, to have Roxanne come out and, confront her and then have her, just running away and stuff like that. But as far as her just like turning heel in general, I like it already. Like I said, I haven't seen her as much in the ring, as much as I've seen Mandy, but the instant click. Everybody likes heels, man. Everybody likes heels. So when she turned, it was like, oh wow, So I'm looking forward to the rest of her run and how it's going to be. It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, Samurai, the same thing to you with Cora Jade now, the heel turn. I know I think personally she's gonna get better with time on the microphone, and wasn't that bad either. Although one thing for us being live in attendance, it was hard to hear their Zoe as well as Cora going back in their microphone because the crowd was really electric, chanting, different chants, either shut the hell up or just all in all. And we couldn't really hear the exchange between the two ladies. Now, Samurai, you're at home. How the microphone work between both of them? Does it work with Cora Jade as the heel? Is she carrying it? Or it's going to get better, but how did it sound in you being the viewer at home?
Well, I mean, it sounded more genuine. She sounded like herself. She didn't sound like overly scripted, like they usually all sound when it's. I mean, you can definitely notice the changes backstage if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, for those that don't know, Bruce Pritchard is no longer in charge of creative. So I mean, you can definitely tell the changes. I mean, this entire show basically, there was really no kind of like shenanigans except for like the whole Wendy Chu thing, which kind of I can do without. Yeah, that the whole Wendy Chu thing. I mean, it's just. To me, Wendy Chu, I mean, she got a little bit serious when we'll get to that when it comes to it. But
we'll get to it.
I feel like, I like the whole presentation of Cora Jade and the back and forth between Zoey Stark and Cora Jade, was good. I mean, like I said, it's something new, something fresh. I mean, now I just hope that. We get a new champion when the time is right, realistically, because Toxic Attraction, they need to go up to the main roster, in my opinion.
Now, speaking of Toxic Attraction, we have an interruption as well. So we had a triple interruption. We also get Toxic Attraction comes down on the microphone. Of course, all three ladies come out. We saw Mandy's not want to give Zoe the title match that evening. Instead, we get a match where Gigi takes up and says, "You know what? You got to first get by me." Trying to kind of look like an enforcer, like the way Arn Anderson used to protect, Ric Flair. You had to go through Arn Anderson and Tony Blanchard. I love that. It took a little. Me personally, being an old school wrestling fan that been watching wrestling for a while, it took me to me. It reminisced to the Horsemen. That way, in order to protect Flair, you had to go through the Horsemen, and I loved it. I loved the setup. Did you like that, Terrence, or you thought it was just stalling time? Here, WWE making it the challenge longer. We want to see this women go at it. We want to see them now.
No, it wasn't stalling time for nothing. Like I enjoyed it. That was awesome. Like you can't, of course, you're gonna have Zoe just put out a challenge like that, and the typical, oh, why don't we do it tonight and stuff like that, and then for to have like one of her women, Gigi or JC, chime in and be like, no, slow down, not so fast. Get through me first, man. If you can make it, then we'll see. But I enjoy that. That's like I said, the old school way. Like I'm not opposed to like a lot of change and like keeping it a little bit more gritty. But as far as just that work, yeah, you can't go to the gym that easy. I like that. I'm a fan of Gigi anyway, by the way.
If I may interject with that, there's also 3 weeks before until the next event, so it makes sense for them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know that that people seem to forget that there's another event coming up. It's what's it called? NXT Heat Wave.
Yeah.
Heat Wave, August 16th.
Yeah, so there's that. But then also at the same time, you have to also realize that they're basically Zoe's been out for what 9 months since Halloween Havoc, so since October. So she needed to get that ring rust off because I mean she's been working her ass off, as she said. I mean that Gigi Dolin was actually a good start for her to try and shake up that ring rust if she had any. That is.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So we shall see with those ladies going forward. Next, later on, we're gonna see Gigi going in one-on-one against Zoey Stark, and we'll see the outcome and all the other stuff. But we go to the back. We have a quick promo before the match. You see Grayson Waller, the crowd most lovable character in NXT universe, cutting a promo, and my God, I loved him. Because he is a classic heel. He said that he is going to embarrass Wes Lee like everyone embarrassed themselves every time they look in the mirror. I was like, this SOB.
Wow.
Hey, Terrence, you and me that go there live and we attend, tell the audience that listen to us, how much heat does Grayson Waller get?
Yo, the first time I went to NXT like that period, because I seen him before a little bit when I was like chiming in on TV watching it, but to be there live and then like see the reaction that he gets as a heel, I mean you don't even gotta like chime in, you even gotta boo or cheer, nothing like that. Just look at the crowd as his music plays. It's insane. It's like MJF-ish,
Yes. Good observation there.
And I don't hate any of the. If you can do your job pretty well, I don't hate it. So I love it. MJF, excuse me, I'm getting too caught up. Grayson Waller, I love the guy. He's, as far as what he's doing right now, it's like authentic. It's like, it definitely connects with the crowd. So he's doing something right for sure.
Him and Duke Hudson. Duke Hudson's another one that gets a lot of heat from the crowd, and he gives it back to us. Dookie.
You talking about Dookie?
Yes. And then to give you a little bit of a peek before the match, we have Wes Lee's wife sits in front of us next to me, the guy that wears the Mr. Met, which is Mr. Bobby, and Bobby wears the Mets gear, and his wife, Wes Lee's wife, was sitting there with her Wes Lee sign. We all knew she was his wife and all, and of course. Out comes Grayson Waller, and he taunts. And I know they go to a break, but he plays up the crowd phenomenal. I love the way he does when he plays up the crowd, like we were mentioning there, not to be redundant. Now we have Wes Lee come out. Now Samurai, Wes Lee, the trajectory. You saw him with Nash Carter as a tag team champions. Now this singles run for Wes Lee here. Liking it, or you think he needs to stay in tag team lane?
I mean, I never really seen him. I mean, outside of being a tag team, I love him being a singles performer. Because if you really think about it, he's been in a tag team for most of his career. Because he was with the Radicals in TNA. I don't remember the guy's name, but Nash Carter and Trey something or other. So if anybody knows, they can look that up.
Too much TNA in a while.
Well, I mean, this was back in because they signed in 2020, I think. So they were a tag team with this Trey character. I can't think of his name right now, but they were called the Radicals in TNA. So for them to be in WWE and sign and be a complete tag team, I mean, they were pushed to the moon rather quickly if you think about it. But then, I'm getting a little bit off track, but I love his singles run. I'm not gonna complain about it. He's very good in the ring. I mean, do I like the outcome of the match? Not really, because he should have won. That damn Trick Williams with the boxing glove to the back of the head.
Well, again, thanks for we were gonna. As Samurai gave us a little bit of an insight there, we had the match with these two competitors, Waller and Lee. The match started off with it was a lengthy involvement between multiple counters, reversals. Wes Lee getting plenty of the time of the show to show off his true impulsive ability, and he was impressive. He was very impressive. Waller takes the lead temporarily, catching Lee on ropes, rebounding with a kick to the gut. Although Waller looked for an axle kick, Lee avoids it, ducking over. It was a good back and forth, near false finishes. You had a lot of interaction. Then Lee goes over the guardrail, over the ropes out to the floor, and referee gets distracted trying to push Grayson Waller. And in the crowd, I think it was by your section, right, Terrence? Yeah, where the one and only
it was like right
across the one and only Trick Williams with a hood. He was because I remember saying, "Who the hell is that sitting there?" It's 90 plus degrees in Florida, and this guy is, is he got a fever, COVID? What is he doing here?
Right.
Wait, all covered head to toe, and all of a sudden, with some boxing gloves, just hits one to the back of head of Wes Lee. I thought the match was going to end on a count out. To be honest with you, when I saw, he barely made it back to the ring at 9, and Grayson Waller finishes it off. I know you don't agree with the thing there, with the match there. I think it's setting up here where Wes Lee, we saw them in the Great American Bash. Wes Lee interfered with Trick Williams. I like that cat and mouse chase, Terrence. What's your thoughts on that one?
That's not bad, man. That's not bad. That's I think, and as far as just Wes Lee now being on his own, he's been in these little, I guess you can call them mini feuds before Trick Williams, as far as the big guys throwing them through the announce table and stuff like that or whatever. But to have somebody like Trick Williams, an actual, growing character to actually feud with and kind of have a good, storyline going with. Also the classic heel versus the face. It's good for both of them, but I think it's good for Wes Lee in general, because he has somebody to work with and build up of and work against and work with the crowd and stuff like that, And not to go off track a little bit, but just I saw Trick Williams coming in, and I was like, you know what? It was a little cool in there last night. It wasn't steamy for the first time in in decades.
That's true.
That's probably why he was covered up. I was like, okay. I didn't get the glove part though. I don't know why he had to go with the boxing gloves. Come on.
I guess to make the punch more realistic. I thought when Grayson Waller gets the pin, he has someone try to unloosen the gloves, and I guess they couldn't get the gloves off his hands. We finally get Trick Williams in the ring, and he still was beating up with the gloves. And I love the fact that he stand over a Wes Lee, showing and building up to the crowd. I overcame and I got you. So another guy behind the peak, the curtain, another guy that gets a lot of major heat from the NXT universe, the crowd, us that sit there, is another one, Trick Williams. I mean, the NXT crowd just rides him, and I love it because he rides us back. He gives it back. He don't stay shut or stays in kayfabe. He gives it back, and he knows how to grab and gravitate and call for that heat. I love when either him and Carmelo Hayes come out to, and they get that heat. Grayson Waller knows how to get us riled up. These guys, believe it or not, they know how to play a crowd, and I love it.
For sure. Trick definitely, man. Like, it's not to the same effect as when his music hit compared to like Grayson Waller comes out, but as far as just like him being his character, it's you would want to hate him, but I love Trick, man. He's cool.
No, I understand the heat and the negativity, but I love to see them wrestle. To me, he's one of my favorite, along with Carmelo Hayes. And I hope when they get called up to the main roster, they go together as a team. They don't have to tag team. Carmelo could be a fine singles wrestler in the main card, but I would love him to come up similar. This to me is my Shawn Michaels version of NXT of him and Diesel. That's the new version of Diesel and Shawn Michaels is Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. I hope they keep that going forward. I love it. I hope they go with that.
Interesting. That's an interesting take there, man. Shawn Michaels and Diesel going back.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's the way. I mean, that just hit me like there. We go now. We're gonna go. They go to commercial break. They come back to a promo with the one and only, the man of the schism tree, Joe Gacy with his dyad, with his druids dyads. And he's talking about. I guess they want to. It looks like they're trying to set up Grimes. And do you like? I like the Grizzly Obets. They actually look good here. I'm intrigued with this revealing of the characters. I didn't see the Grizzly Ovets. I'm not gonna say I know them. I know who they are. I seen them wrestle. What I see right now is new to me. I'm a blank. To me, this is a blank slate, a clean canvas, and I'm letting Joe Gacy and the Diaz and that whole facet to me play out in front of me, and I'm liking it. I understand people don't like Joe Gacy. They can't stand him. We know that they get him a lot of heat in NXT with him. Now have you noticed, Terrence, or everyone listening? He no longer wears a black shirt no more. Now it's gray. Gee, I wonder why. Because every time he comes out, the crowd wants breadsticks. Now, why NXT Universe calls why Joe Gacy why he want breadsticks is that here in Central Florida in the Orlando Olive Gardens, the waiters wear black shirts, similar to what Joe Gacy wears. So, since everyone knows that, I guess everyone here goes to Olive Garden. They want breadsticks. They want Joe Gacy to bring them breadsticks. That's where that comes from. Just a little bit behind the peak of the current. Now, the promo Samurai, are you feeling Gacy? Because you've been watching NXT. You're the resident one that's seen it for a while. Do you like Joe Gacy, or you're with the majority that says, ugh, I can't, I know he's a little bit Bray Wyatt-ish, but what's your thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are dogs barking in the background. I think, I didn't like the gimmick at first, but then it's kind of grown on me. I mean, I don't know if you noticed or not, but like, he's gotten a lot more comfortable in the role that he's in. He's grown on me, and I generally didn't like the gimmick that they put him in, but I feel, what are we talking about again?
Well, I can't mention Joe Gacy too much because my dogs go nuts. They don't like that name here. They hear Joe Gacy, they start going nuts here, first and foremost. Now, I'm interested because I think, to me personally, and I'm gonna throw this to you, Terrence, facets or groups, I think works in NXT. You want the solo. I know Solo Sikoa by himself. I didn't mean to say solo, but that single act by yourself in NXT world, you kind of need a group, like a clique, a NWO, Legado Fantasma, Tony Andrew and his family. They need that guys to watch your back, but they could stab you at the same time. I think that works with Joe Gacy.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but like, I'm now that I see the schism, I don't dig the name. I mean, it sounds so odd.
It's so weird.
It sounds like heels underwears. He Schism on his underwears when he goes washes them. All right.
Who came up with the name Schism?
I mean, see, like I said, I watch different podcasts, and some people don't like what they did to the Grizzly Young Veterans. I mean, I know who they are from watching NXT UK, and because that's where they're from, and then they were good. Like I said, like I said last week, they're going nowhere with the current iteration of NXT. So I know why they did it, but I think that they've got to wrestle. You know, I mean, they can't just be cutting promos backstage. They're not bad in the ring either.
Well,
I mean, they as you can see, they can talk too. I mean, I thought that they changed they Americanized them with the accent, with their accents, but they apparently didn't. I was just hearing things. I thought that I heard like them speaking an American accent, but it wasn't. Maybe it was just like because I was so used to them not talking at first that I heard a different accent. But you know, there's that. I don't know. I just feel like they really need to, you know, prove themselves in the ring. I guess. Like I said, they're good. They're good in the ring. They can talk. I don't know where they're going with the whole Cameron Grimes thing. I mean, I think they're going to try and recruit Cameron Grimes. But at the same time, I don't want them to do that because I feel like they're going to shave Cameron Grimes' head, and I don't want that. Nobody wants that.
Isn't nobody want that? I mean, and that, you know, into like another point, like including that, like who would they feud with if Cameron Grimes was to, you know, join, was it Schism now? Like they wouldn't really have, because Bron's already in the storyline with I don't want to jump too much ahead, but he's already in with the other guy. But who would they possibly feud with? So yeah, you're right. I wouldn't want him to join it either.
Let me give a name out.
Go ahead.
Jigs and Brenton and Jigs for the UK titles. Remember, Grizzly Old Bets are UK, and you create havoc and a balance over there. Although I do know Pretty Deadly's still there. You know, causing havoc, but you know that's an obstacle.
Well, yeah, I was like, because they didn't make an appearance last week. They didn't make any kind of promos. It was just like kind of under the radar. So that's probably why I kind of forgot about them. You know, just like okay, but yeah, that's another team that, you know, it has to grow me a little bit, but they have their little gimmick, their little stick, you know, the little fingers and stuff like that from the UK and stuff like that. So you know, it's kind of not bad. You know, it's another one that I don't mind seeing like growing a little bit more. As far as like a tag team.
We'll see. We'll see what Joe Gacy and the Schism Tree and his men go forward. And we get now the match. To me, I'm thinking to me personally, I say this is a litmus test or a final exam test if you're ready to go to the main roster, in my opinion, you know, or we're keeping an eye on you, kiddo, because I think we're going to elevate you pretty soon. It's none other than Apollo Crews, and I know it's not Apollo Crews returning to the main roster, taking on one of the guys that I'm a big fan of, Xyon Quinn. Now, Apollo comes out with a huge pop by the NXT world. Everyone is excited to see him back in NXT. Me personally, I know what I'm going to get from Apollo Crews. I know what your plateau, where your ceiling is. To me, I just wanted to see how Xyon fares up with you in the ring. I was more excited for Xyon Quinn in this match. The match was a really good, fast-paced match, up and down. Terrence, what's your thoughts on Apollo being in NXT and Xyon Quinn?
Yeah, so once again, as far as like that pop when Apollo first came back, I first started going. That was one of the main stars that came to NXT in my experience, and that as soon as he came out, that music hit, crowd went nuts. It was insane. As far as like just him being a Grizzly vet, like you're right. We've seen him before. We've seen how, you know, he's fantastic in the ring. I think he can get a little bit more better on the promos. and stuff like that. But as far as just like being in the business for a while, it's good for what is it, Zion Quinn or something like that. I forgot his name.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for him to work with him, to kind of get a little, like I guess more experience and how to work with the crowd and how to just do certain things like different ways. But as far as just like Zion Quinn, I don't know. Last night, I think it was a little different from the previous times that he's came out because he normally doesn't like. Well, he doesn't fight every week, but yeah, he gets a little heat. Like I remember, I don't know if it was the last week or the week before when he came through the crowd and cost Apollo's match against Vinci.
They made him move. By the way, folks, little kayfabe. He had some great seats. Here, he's sitting there, and they made him move. They said, "Dude, you gotta get going because Zion Quinn needed your chair."
Yo, that's probably why I'm just like, I don't know, I like this guy. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I think they can move because I had the red shirt on, and they don't want me confused with the chase station. I digress. No, but I think he has to. I think working with Apollo Crews is gonna help him a little bit more. He has to, in my opinion, like develop a little more because I don't know if I don't recall hearing him on the mic too much. I don't know. I could be wrong. I know he's probably like spoken a few words or whatever, but every time I've seen him, and like I say, I just been started coming to NXT, so. But anytime I've been coming, I rarely ever see him like on the mic. If anything, he's always like in the ring or he had a little like thing going with Wes Lee, I believe, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago.
Exactly.
So, but like as far as last night, like obviously Apollo is going to get more of the crowd reaction. I just didn't really like. Last night, I didn't really feel like the crowd was like too much into Zion Quinn right now. Like I said, he has a lot of time, a lot of potential, But I don't know. We'll see in the coming weeks how it progresses and stuff like that. But as far as the match itself, like he did pretty good though. I didn't mind. They did pretty good. It's not he's hanging in there. He's hanging in there with Apollo. So we'll see how it goes, man.
All right. All right, Samurai. The same question to you. How did Apollo? Like I said, we saw Apollo Crews ceiling. We know what it is. Zion Quinn. You think? How did the match look? I know the promo skill could be worked. You think he's ready for main roster, or you think he's getting ready for main roster? You won't be surprised for maybe a Survivor Series or Royal Rumble seeing Zion Quinn elevated. What's your thoughts? Or what's your opinion there, Samurai?
Well, my opinion is that I feel like, Apollo Crews, Zion Quinn himself is like, I guess he's kind of boring if you really think about it. He's got no personality or charisma. He's a charisma vacuum. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I like him in the ring, but his he's kind of like that one guy at that party that you don't want to be there. Like if you catch my drift, he's like, why are you here? We don't want you here. You're boring. But honestly, I think that he has a lot of work to do. But he could possibly be ready for the main. He could be ready for the main roster. You could actually put him right there with the bloodline. I mean, he is Samoan. Like,
I agree with you because you could have
possibly,
you need a guy to go after the mid card titles, not just one. You need a guy you could bring him as well as Solo Sikoa. And even if they're not bloodline, but now you got guys who's going to go for the mid card. You got the tribal chief with the time title. They did the tag teams, and now you got the two Samoans to go for mid card titles. And you have a bloodline where you have a tree similar to and you could it could work because also you got Paul Heyman, who is the mouthpiece for all of them to hype them up. Where Zion Quinn doesn't have to get on the mic; he just be there. The way you seen him when he sits there and he's serious, he has a demeanor, and besides, he's got the fit. He's fit. He's cut. He got the look. Now the microphone and maybe a little more seasoning in ring, but I can see in a world where it could work.
He needs more time. Like he needs more time. If they give him a little bit more TV time, even here in NXT, I think he just given the chance to see. Let's see what he can do. You know, we'll see what he does in the ring, but let's see what he can do on the mic.
Well, I mean, like I said, with potentially with Triple H being in charge of NXT as well, he will get the attention that he has been sorely missing with Bruce Pritchard in charge. That's what I feel. I feel like
Pritchard's in charge of the main roster. It's still Shawn Michaels who's the one in charge of.
Well, I mean, you know
NXT,
what I mean.
But he writes it. But I think when Triple H is going to want to tell Shawn, I want to see certain sort of wrestlers, I need to push, and I think Shawn will go that direction. I think that's where you're going to get that's my opinion though. I think that's where the influence of a Triple H will come in, because I think he's going to rely on Shawn Michaels and tell, hey, I'm looking for XYZ type of competitor, and then Shawn Michaels will either develop him or say, I've got a guy that will fit what you're looking for in your main roster. And I think that's how they're going to work hand in hand, in my opinion. I think that's how it's going to be different, where Shawn could tell it to Hunter and say, don't need to change gimmicks. You don't need to change anything, names at all. This guy, I got him. You asked for this type of wrestler, I got you this type. And I think that's where we're going to see a big difference between Hunter Hearst Helmsley run WWE and a Vince McMahon run WWE, in my opinion.
Well, as you know, as previously stated, I think that, it works out. It all works out in the end, because, like, I do think that Triple H will do what's best for business, you know, and I think he also will change names back. Well, a few names. Now, like I said, I've kind of grown on Gunther, because, like, I know why they changed his name, because it's you know, but I feel like Ludwig Kaiser is the one that doesn't need to have his name changed, because I'm pretty sure that's kind of disrespectful to his father, who's a legend in the business as well. If you really,
what was his original? Not to cut you off. What was this? Because I wasn't watching it before. What was his original name?
Ludwig Kaiser. His name was Martha Bartha.
Martha Bartha?
Yeah.
I kind of like Ludwig Kaiser.
Well, I mean, like I said, his father's name is also Martha Bartha, I believe, and he's a second generation wrestler. So it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of disrespectful to his father for them to change his name, unless they do a thing with like out of character with Ludwig Kaiser, and they explain it like they did with Gunther. Then I'm not really on board with the whole Ludwig Kaiser thing.
They did not to touch. Let's stay back on the NXT, but not to change. Also, remember with Curtis Axel never came up with Henning last name, because he's the son of Mr. Perfect Kirk Henning, and also when he first started, he was Michael McGillicuddy.
Yeah,
that is true. I mean, look where he went with that Michael McGillicuddy name. Nowhere.
That was nowhere. And also, Axel, Curtis Axel, another one. He should have used Embrace Henning, would have been better. But let's keep staying. We shall see there. We get Apollo Crews getting the victory with a cold breaker for the victory on Xyon Quinn. I thought right person won, but wait a minute. You just finished saying that you would like to see you would like to see Xyon Quinn get elevated. You want him going a hot streak. You want him going winning. Yeah, but you just brought Apollo Crews back to NXT, and he didn't. He lost his last match to Giovanni, and then you're going to make him lose to Xyon. Why did you bring him back here to be a jobber? I was okay with the victory for having Apollo Crews go over a Xyon Quinn here, just to get that in-ring performance. The match to me was very entertaining. I really enjoyed it. I thought the back and forth, the cold breaker looked clean, everything. Xyon looked like a real heel when he was going. He was getting really into it. Like he has. You know what he does on Terrence and Samurai Ramil? He's got a little bit of Batista-ish in him. I don't know. Do you think
think so?
When the grunting and the power moves, I swear I saw like a little Batista in there more than a Samoan. Now that I'm just rehashing it.
Maybe his facial expressions, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I concur with that. His facial expression maybe not like his, his mannerisms in a way, yes, but mannerisms and facial features, yes. As far as wrestling ability, he has to develop his own niche.
You're right, and maybe NXT is limiting them what they could do, because and I'll get to that at the end of the program. Why I think NXT limits them what wrestling what maneuvers and holds they do. And I'll bring that to a later point. But we'll move on from that match. We'll see what goes on for Apollo and where Xyon goes. There was more like a grunt match, and I don't know if it's settled. It kind of seems like it's gonna settle, and then they'll move on. But we get to the match between Zoey Stark taking on Gigi Dolin. Now, this match, we know what it is. It's an obstacle. It's a roadblock. I think Zoey, for singles competition since her injury, she looked it well. Of course, Gigi is Gigi. The crowd loves Gigi. And let me say something, and I hope I'm not peeking behind or pulling the curtain behind. When Toxic Attraction comes and they go on a long commercial break, or they cut promos and the camera is not live in the NXT studios, I gotta give props to Mandy, Gigi, and Janice. They are the most awesome, fan favorite, crowd pleasing heels in all of NXT. From the pictures that they take with all of us in NXT, from the meet and greet, and they don't have to. They let's face it, there's a bunch of guys that could look. If you look at them and they're ladies, they're beautiful ladies, you could get creep out because you don't know what guys are gonna have. But kudos to the NXT world. They behave good with the ladies. The ladies go and they feel comfortable enough to go out and take pictures. Go there, sign little kids posters, and they're very fan friendly for being heels. And once the cameras go on, they're back to being the heel. I mean, they're vicious. Terrence, right? You let them know.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I was like, I want to say surprised because again, we're all human, but we we wish we can play characters and stuff like that, and they're actually characters. But at the same time, like it was time to like kind of semi cut the switch off a little bit. Like just like going to commercial break, but just, seeing Mandy, for example, she had I don't know if it was like a little girl or somebody, but when it was on commercial break and she went around the ring and somebody wanted to take a picture and she happily obliged. I was like, oh, okay, that's not bad. And actually seen JC Jane signing a few autographs too, like during the commercial break. So that was pretty, like they're human. It's cool. It's cool to do that. But the camera's back on. They're right back to it. Gigi, she was in the ring getting stretched out or stretching herself out, I should say, or whatever. But she was in the zone. But as far as just her, all three of them in general, yeah, you're right, man. They're pretty hospitable until the camera gets back on.
And once that camera gets back on, Jace is nasty with the crowd. I mean, you could see her going back with it, and that's why I think the NXT universe loves them. They love them, and it's not because, oh, look at the heel going with the heel and let's turn them face. No. We need Toxic Attraction. If they're going to stay in NXT for the Raging Times, stay as heels because we love them as heels.
Right.
Just because they cheer for them doesn't mean that we love them as faces. We love the fact they're heels and they play the role so perfect that they know when to shut it off and turn it on and get get us the fans appreciation. And I think I love it. I from day one I saw Toxic Attraction when they dropped the titles to Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. I was already a fan of Toxic Attraction, and then when they regained it again, that's when I started falling in love with NXT because of that facet, the way they the whole card of Stand and Deliver totally won me over. But that's what I love. And then going in person and seeing the way they are, I see why people appreciate and love Toxic Attraction. I mean, when they go to the main roster, I hope all three goes at the same time there. I mean, they deserve to go all of them, all three at the same time. Keep that facet together. And that's a click that's like the click from NWO, from Nash, Hall, Sean, 1, 2, 3 Kid. They need that, and Hunter. They need that same to go up. I think it works and we saw Zoe Stark, despite the fact we know what kind of match it was. It was Zoe Stark's going over on Gigi, but they sold it. They made it important on that to build that chase for Zoe to go after Mandy. Samurai. I know you didn't see all the extracurricular that we just elaborated, but were disappointed, or did you thought it was a squash match, or did it make sense what we saw between Gigi and Zoe Stark?
Of course, it definitely made sense. I mean, like I said, it was her first match, her first actual official match back, besides being in the Battle Royal last week. So, I mean, for her to win, it made total sense. I also like I said, I also feel as though the way she won, I think she hit her with the reverse GTS or the inverted GTS, the 360 360 knee or whatever it's called. I think she hit it when she did it. She hit it with a bad leg, so that's also a little touch, a little caveat there. So I mean that also shows that her leg is holding up.
Yeah, she was worried about that. She wanted to try that there, and she passed the test. Let's say, hopefully, next day, didn't see nothing on the dirt sheet saying any soreness or injury. So good job there for Zoe Stark. But once the matches conclude, Toxic leaves, and Zoe, rightfully so, the winner. We get Cora Jade with a kendo stick. Back to the day, I was like, oh, this is Triple H influence. All right, here we go. Just beats the crap out of Zoe Starks with that kendo sticks, typical heel fashion. And out comes Roxanne Perez. Terrence, did you like that build up? I know I saw you get up on your feet.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting the Roxy to come out. Like, I kind of low key wasn't expecting Cora to come out, but I kind of was, just because what their program was at the beginning of the night. And just a little side note, I know Cora was happy she had a kendo stick this time instead of a skateboard, and it didn't break prematurely. But yeah, I enjoyed that. Like, I was surprised. So when I'm surprised at things and it goes right and it goes how it's supposed to go, it's done well. And I love it. Roxy came out and Crush chased Cora off back to the back, wherever she came from and stuff like that. So it was pretty good, man. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, they almost knocked over the room temperature waters.
Yeah, almost. That'd been the second thing: skateboard and then the waters. What's next?
So I love that chase. I love that because, like Samurai mentioned earlier in the beginning, she's involved now. Cora Jade in two different storylines. Roxy also. Mandy now, so there's direction in the women's heavyweight or the women's championship round, storyline. Who don't know what they interact with each other. And one night, it's okay because you have feuds that could interact. You could have Roxanne trying to go against Mandy because she felt robbed for not getting the one-on-one clean match for the women's title. You also have Zoe now, winner of the Battle Royal, who wants to go after Mandy. You also want Cora Jade, who could go after Roxy because of the revenge, or vice versa. You also got, you could play the fact that Roxy wants revenge on Cora, and Cora wants now a title shot on Mandy. So I like that interaction week to week of fresh storyline because it's not rinse and repeat the same matches over and over like people complain about Raw and SmackDown. You got some different dynamics here, and I like it.
You also forgot about Saray, who's I think in a title match. I don't know if it's a title match next week or if she's just in a match with Mandy Rose. But
if we would get to that part of the promo where the hostess gets to it and builds it up, and yeah, we could get to that. But it's okay though.
It's all good.
Hey, I'm just making sure you didn't get anything.
No. Hey. You're one of my main men. I gotta make sure. You know what I'm saying there. So we see that fascinate. We saw Zoe Stark wins. They ladies go to a promo. But when we come back here from the break, and I didn't even know, we got. I was trying to say, man, who the hell is this guy with this big monster cranium, big head? Oh, it's Jordan Devlin, aka JD Devlin, sitting down in the crowd, and he takes a microphone, cuts a promo with the NXT universe sitting down. Of course, those two folks that were on his right and the left, they are wrestlers. They are marks. They are not regular people, because the one with the hair looks, you know, he's part of that Chase U once in a while. And then the one, I love the promo part, but the thing, Terrence, that kind of was a slap to the face to all of us, that fat dude eating popcorn. You know, hey, we want popcorn. You folks, they don't give you nothing but room temperature water in NXT. So the fact that guy was eating popcorn, that was false.
I ain't never room temperature water, but yeah, you're right. I was like, what the? Everybody was like, what? Hold on, where you get popcorn from? What? Of course, it was a prop, but it was like, still, what the? I want some popcorn too. Like, obviously, somewhere they have popcorn for the entire crowd. You can give us some popcorn, man. You got to be too stingy with it, but yeah, that's crazy. Dude.
I like the promo with McDonagh. He's trying to show, oh, if you eat too much popcorn, it was like a Debbie Downer, like, you know, like, oh, thank you, oh, Captain Obvious, thank you, or, you want to say the word, you prick, because he was making such assumptions, like, and then I love when he went to Tony, that Tony, for those who know, is the guy that rings the bell with the mic, and he's the director of the program. Very awesome dude. We all know him because we've seen him. So it's the guy with the ring announcer. No, his name is Tony. Let's give him respect. So at least in this podcast, we're gonna give you respect to Tony. So he tells him the little hammer could break a bunch of little tiny bones in your hands. I thought he was gonna. I said, please don't hurt Tony. Yeah, I thought he was gonna pretend. I thought he was gonna pretend to hit Tony. I was like, ah. And then with Alicia's the ring announcer, also phenomenal. She gives away the T-shirts for a little bit. So I'm giving you a little bit of kayfabe, a little behind the speak from our perspective. And I love first when he goes to Wade Barrett, tells about his calluses and the calcium deposit in his hands. I was like, oh my God, this.
I wanted Wade to just get up and just give him that elbow.
The boom! I got some bad news for you. Boom!
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yes. And then the other guy, I forget his name, the another announcer, he said he could break his collarbone. The commentary, I could break your bone. What was his name?
Big Joseph.
He said I could break your collarbone. He looked cool. I liked the promo. I know people say, I thought he was fine. It was good. He gets in the ring, and all of a sudden, the champ comes out, Bron Breakker, and people complain about him. He complains about him. They complain about him, but I don't see what's wrong with Bron Breakker. He's a babyface. He's supposed to come out like that. What do you want? You people, I don't know. They want to act like Scott Steiner, but then you complain he's ripping off his uncle. No, let him be Bron Breakker. Let him be his own man. And I think he's own man. He's coming. You know what? He's getting quicker with the rebuttals when it comes to promos against his opponent. And he looked like a champ, like a bad MFer. And of course,
more confident he looks too.
Yes. You see the development. You see the growth and the comfortness and the development of a champion there growing
week by week. Yes. You can tell if you really pay attention to him when he comes out. Not to cut you off, man.
No.
But as soon as he comes out, you can just look at his face and look how his posture and everything, and it's like even when he gets in the ring, looks at the crowd, walks up the stairs, gets face to face and stuff like that. You can tell he's getting it. He's feeling himself.
You know what he's showing us, Terrence? This is my work. This is my ring. This is my NXT, and he's showing that week after week. This is mine. I'm the top dog here, and he's showing that, and I love that about him. He's oozing that confidence. I'm the top dog. You guys gave me this strap, and I beat Ziggler, and I wasn't too sure. Maybe it was a little. Maybe he might have thrown his head psychologically, little nepotism. Bullshit. You are a champ. Go for it, and he's showing it. He's projecting it. I loved it. And then one thing I do that I tease in my corner, I don't even remember when McDonagh comes out. Boy, that guy got a big head. He got a big head, and he's been using the freaking headbutts. Every time I say it, he comes and he hits with that big head of his. He headbutts the champ. Samurai, your encounters. Are you satisfied? Are you invested on seeing these two Titans go, or do you wish Kramer he would have finished off with Grimes, or maybe there's a triple threat involved there somehow?
I mean, realistically, let's say that they do have this title match, which they are at Heatwave, I believe. Cameron Grimes has something to say about it. I mean, Cameron's been going through a downward spiral as of late. I feel like Cameron, he's kind of lost. He needs to find himself. He needs to go on a journey to find himself. And if he does that, he comes back and challenges Bron Breakker, and then he makes a triple threat match. Like I said, I don't want him to join the Schism, because that would be like the worst possible thing that they can do with him.
You're telling him to go on a journey, and when you go on a journey, and you come out and you come back as a new person, and then you're kind of pushing him towards that Schism.
Well, I mean, in a way, yes, but I mean, I don't mean like in that like that kind of journey. I'm talking about like a journey to go on a little mini vacation, go back home to where's he from? North Carolina. Go back home to Cameron and just take a break. Find yourself
a little bit.
Yeah, reinvent. Yeah, exactly. I mean, grow back your facial hair.
You know what they need to do with Cameron Grimes a little bit though? He made his money on cryptocurrency. To the moon. He's became rich. Now crypto has gone down. You could bring real life into his storyline, why he's been losing, because he's worried about his finances. He doesn't have to be broke Corbin, not steal from that gimmick, but he's been losing money and he's worried. And when it starts running, he gets back to winning ways. His money starts with his cryptocurrency. I don't know, just throwing something out there. I'm not the head of writer, just something explanation on why he's been on that little bit of a downism there with him. It'd be interesting to see if they could go that route, do that route, or hopefully it's not him joining because he could it could go that way too, that he's broke and he has no other choice, and Joe Gacy is there to give him that comfort and that sad, I don't have my daddy. Wham, my daddy's not somebody famous, and but I do want to see. I am invested in seeing these two go at it. I love the way the Irish Ace is making his name felt in NXT, and I really, at least at 2.0 in America, I like it.
I mean, if you paid attention to it, I'm going to cut you off, Terrence. But if you paid attention to it, like when Bron Breakker headbutt JD, he made him bust him open.
Yes, he bleeded. There was blood again for two nights in a row. 2 nights in a row, WWE blood, and it wasn't no Chris Jericho with a razor blade, and no. This was actually.
I didn't see that, but I seen somebody posted. I was like, did he?
It was it was obvious. Like, dude, can you make it discreet? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I didn't want to jump out of traffic.
Now, did he make him? Was it? Do you think it was a blood pack, or do you think it was actual blood?
No, it's actual.
Okay, because you know how they do the whole blood pack thing when they try too hard. Yeah, I mean, I noticed it right away because I saw as soon as he headbutted, he put his fingers in his mouth he was satisfied with it or something.
Yeah, no, that whole scene looked really good. Terrence, go ahead.
No, I'm saying he as soon as he did it, because I didn't even see him. I seen when JD headbutted him at first, but I don't know if for whatever reason I kind of looked off a little bit, and then right when I looked back, I seen Bron kind of headbutting him back, and then all I saw was blood in JD's mouth. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, see, what he tried to do was he tried to go for the devil inside, and when he tried to do that, Bron was like, nope, and just headbutt him right in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that brought the proper heat.
Yeah. Heat wave.
That's a nice play on words there. Heat wave.
Indeed.
Yeah,
so then we go backstage again. I thought the promos and the events with NXT tonight, to me, I watched a little bit. I thought it were really good. Although sometimes in the arena we can't hear them that well because of the music and the crowd. So sometimes we don't really get the full essence of the vignettes and the promos. Backstage though, we do see Chase U has a new recruit, Brody, and the other members of Chase U. We see them all backstage. It is none other than the Flash. I call him the Flash. Nathan Frazier, back from UK, and he's gonna say, "Can I be an honorary Chase U flag bearer?" Oh, cool. I thought that was it, and I was like, "All right, Nathan Frazier's back. It's good to see that." And then we go back to another commercial break, I believe, and then we had another promo where we saw Roxanne Perez backstage with her only title. I thought she was going to announce a new tag team partner that they're going to just give her the title and become tag team champions. No, we saw Alonzo Blaze, a.k.a. Medusa, comes out, retrieved the tag titles from the garbage. Of course, she talks about knowing about how it feels to dump the title in the trash. She did that 25 years ago, and they didn't crown a women's champion until for years later to come. And she picks up the title, and we get to no fear here. That's going to be a fatal 4-way tag team for the women's NXT titles, and they're going to put respect to that title and all that good stuff. And I was like, this is them, I guess, inviting Sasha and Naomi to come back. I'm not saying they come to NXT, but we're going to take care of you ladies. You know,
I would love that. I would love that, man. Sasha and Naomi come to NXT first.
Oh, I mean, hey, Naomi's from Orlando. She's originally born and raised from Orlando. Sasha was here for almost 3 weeks. She was seen in Disney, ups and down Epcot Center with Bailey. They were in a concert in a Popka 2 weeks ago. So she also met with the head with everyone from Triple H when they signed Logan Paul here in the Performance Center. Sasha was here. She was, word on the street is that she was in the Performance Center meeting with the executives, which is Triple H, Sasha Banks, and even Vince was part of that. So I don't know what came from that. They never gave her a formal release. Definitely don't dead ass. No nonsense. And there was a talks. That's why when you see my videos, I claim I'm not an insider. I'm not. No one says that I have any information, but the word on the street in your eyes, you see when people are here, they're in the city and they're going to these events. Is you don't have to be a detective. You don't have to be you don't have to be Bruce Wayne or Batman to figure that out. There's meetings. They're speaking. They're if it was something that negative, I think something would have been happened already. Released, no longer part of the. And I think personally, there's going to be a working environment. I believe we also saw after that meeting with Vince McMahon and Triple H and Stephanie. That's when we came out that she was going to be doing an appearance in ChicagoCon. They wanted $30,000 for her appearance. To not the WWE. Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Renato, but she was going to use. When I found tech after that meeting, they used Mandalorian, Sasha Banks. Now if they would have just said Mercedes Renato and no Sasha Banks, then I go, she's not in the WWE. The fact that we're using Mercedes, Sasha Banks, part of that Comic-Con, and $30,000 tells me she's not gone from the WWE because WWE is not. They remember it's a business. They're not going to let you make money on your own, on their name given to you. They want you, and they're allowing her to do that. Also, she said on other places, supposedly on an interview, she's not going to return to the wrestling ring until January of 2023. To me, I thought she was going to be involved in SummerSlam. To me, I could see her returning in the Royal Rumble. That's just me. That's just me saying that. So those are a little bit of the using notes of my opinion and what I know. And I know that they were in that concert in a Popka with Bailey. They were sitting on the ground. They've been around about in the city. So with the women's tag team titles, I think that's another way of in NXT kickstarting it. Let me see how it looks in NXT, and we're gonna take a little bit of a test run and see if we do that in the main roster. I know some people say, well, why don't you make the NXT women tag titles part of the WWE roster, like unifying? It could go in all three brands no, it don't work because the schedule, sometimes you're not there in somewhere else and part of the world, and you're going to fly them all the way back to Orlando, the rest to defend them on NXT on a Monday, then Tuesday, then back to Friday. It don't work. They need their own separate. They all need their own separate brand titles, and that's plain and simple. But I think that's what the tag team tournament is going to show us what it is. And once we get that announcement for that Fatal 4-Way tag team, then we come to the match when we have Andre Chase with Chase U with Brody and Thea coming down. And what to my knowledge, I always sit in Chase U's section. Nathan Frazier was right there with the flag with the Chase U University against the group. So let me tell you something. A guy who's ready to go to the main roster is Giovanni Da Vinci. That match started. Samurai, were you invested without any outcome, no spoilers, when you saw these two match going? Which do you think Chase U has cachet with you, or are you just like gimmicky?
I mean, I love Andre Chase. No, don't get me wrong. I just think he doesn't need. I think he should just change his like, you know, his wrestling attire. Wrestling in that sweater must be very uncomfortable. Like, I mean,
talk to Wendy Jew.
Well, also her wrestling in that singlet, that onesie must be also difficult too. So I don't know. I mean, like, I kind of hope that, you know, change on the horizon as far as NXT goes, because like we all know Andre Chase can wrestle. I mean, his gimmick so far, you know, at first I didn't like it because he looks like a college professor, and he also looks like a.
He is though. That is his gimmick. That is his gimmick. He's giving you a teachable moment every time you get in the ring with him.
It's a teachable moment indeed, but at the same time, like, he's also a professional wrestler. I feel like they to me they have very good chemistry. I mean, it was a good match. I don't want to go into it. That's your job, but you know,
no, you could go into the match. Don't give the spoiler just yet. We want to hear how that goes. Go ahead. Tell me, you know, the in-ring ability. Listen, one thing I noticed is that the in-ring ability of Andre Chase is getting much more greater. From the submission moves, the chops, the near falls. I really enjoyed Andre Chase's in there with Giovanni. I'm telling you, he is ready. He was formerly Terrence. He was part of Imperial, who was with Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and one more fella. I don't remember his name.
Really?
Of Samurai, and they were all together in Imperial. Excuse me?
Fabian Eichner. It was Fabian Eichner. I mean, there was initially 4 members of
the fourth member. I know Fabian Eichner is Giovanni.
Alexander Wolf.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
The Axeman, as he's called, the Dresden Axeman, as Nigel McGuinness calls him. I mean, I don't know where he's going right now. I mean, I see with like I'm gonna keep reiterating this, but anybody that's not signed on major promotion or like that was released in the past couple of years, Triple H will get them back, because like they were not given a fair shake on the main roster or otherwise. I mean, like, look at Eric Young. What is he doing at Impact?
He was in WWE for a little bit, right?
He was until I think either last year or last year. But like, what is he doing? I mean, he's not doing much of anything in Impact. So I mean, it gives him. I think I want to go a little bit off topic here, but I think the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, their deal with Impact's up, so they could come back to be, unless they have a thing with AEW, but I don't think so. I also think that it opens up a lot of doors. I mean, like, would you want to see them? Who would you want to see mainly back in the WWE? I'm gonna ask you that.
You know, me or
both of them.
Go ahead, Terrence.
Honestly, everybody that went to AEW, like as far as the young guys, Adam Cole, all those guys, the guy that just recently left, Kyle O'Reilly, even the Good Brothers, you know, WWE needs tag teams, and what I can tell right now, even though that's my guys, I don't want to see them lose the titles right now. The Usos and Street Profits. That's basically what all you have, like as far as legitimate tag teams. You bring back the Good Brothers, you bring back a few more tag teams. Who knows? One day, when I see it, when WWE will eventually buy out AEW, I'm just gonna speak that. When they do that, bring in the Young Bucks. That'll definitely make for some great competition.
You think that's going to happen? They're going to buy out AEW? I mean, realistically, it could happen. I'm not gonna deny that. But I mean, Kevin knows. Kevin knows I don't like AEW. Honestly, I don't because of the comparisons to WCW. Yeah, and for me, it's like, how are you gonna basically blatantly rip off something that we've all seen before and think that it's something new, or have people think it's something new when it really isn't? But I for me, I like I said, I feel like the people that are currently in AEW right now, like Keith Lee, even though Kevin thinks he sucks, Keith Lee, you suck.
Yeah, that's a saying that I go on my show. I stop here and I look at the camera and I go, "Hey, Keith Lee, you suck." That's
You like Keith Lee?
No, he doesn't. He thinks Keith Lee is boring and bland, but honestly, he's like the way he talks. He sounds too sophisticated for a wrestling character. I mean, like their whole tag team with Swerve and Glory. It just doesn't seem.
Swerve I like.
Swerve's great. Yeah, Swerve's great, but Keith Lee himself.
It should be a tag team. Mm-hmm. They shouldn't be a tag team.
They shouldn't, but shit happens.
Yeah.
Keith Lee, I mean, AEW doesn't know what they're. I mean, Tony Khan basically stretched himself thin with the purchase of Ring of Honor. That's just how I feel about it. I don't know what he's doing with that, but we're totally getting off topic. But
we're running out of time a little bit.
Like I said, realistically, I feel like the match was great. I just feel like they need to chase you. I like when he does that the stomp thing where he does the whole cheerleader thing. He's like CHASU. That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What does that spell?
Chase
you. I like the false finishes. All the false finishes, Giovanni. You know what the best part of the whole night was, guys? When Giovanni takes that freaking flag away from Brody, he just snaps it in half.
Yo, when he did that, some people cried like, "You better not," and then he snapped it. It was like, "What? Why would you do that? You piece of."
Realistically, I saw that happen, and when I saw that happen, I immediately thought of Thea Hale. I mean, Thea Hale going batshit crazy on Giovanni.
That was fun because Brody had to hold her back because she's personally, I love Thea Hale because that energy that she brings, she reminds me of a freaking Jack Russell Terrier dog that just loose like oh my god. And I just love the energy that she has. She looked like she's having fun in the ring, being a WWE performer and not bad of a wrestler, guys. She's before the level up and several times and she's really good. She's really good a wrestler. One thing I could say after that, Giovanni Da Vinci gets the victory there, and a lot of false finishes close of the matches. There was times you thought that Andre Chase was going to get the victory, and Giovanni kicks out, and it was really good. That the crowd loved it. They had the chant on their feet. This was awesome, and you know what? Chase, you did it. They bought it. But when I got out of all this whole match, Brody is useless.
Brody is pretty useless. I mean, when was the last time Brody was in a match? Let's be honest. He
fought on last week tag team with Andre Chase. They won their tag team match. He was part of that. He looked okay. Brody's a big dude. He's a big, strong dude.
Yeah, man. You don't really realize it until you're there, though.
He's huge.
Like, damn. He's big.
And what is he? He's about what 6'4", 6'5".
6'6", if not that. He's tall, dude. He looks small on TV because he's like this,
Yeah.
punching over with the stupid flag. But when he stands up, that dude is a strong. And besides, we're saying that he's useless because his character. But Andre Chase after the match looked like he kind of sold he had a knee injury. Instead of Brody helping him back, they had to get the referees to help him back, and he's there like an idiot worrying about the broken flag. That's why I said he's useless. But he's really cool. I seen Brody. There's a young little kid when it had a sign, and Brody was supposed to sign it. He says, "I'll get you on the return." And Brody went and got the kid. He got the sign and got the kid and signed out behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of things that you don't see on camera and TV. Those are the ones that touch the NXT universe heart. Not I'm seeing it and everyone else seeing it, and that's why we go hard and we really overboard and support and cheer these guys on, because the little things like that. Brody, awesome dude outside of the wrestling ring. The same thing, with some, we'll talk about it a little later. With other wrestlers, and they were phenomenal there, and I liked it. That's something you see there, and I really enjoyed it. And false finishes for Chase U, Giovanni. How long do you think he's going to stay in NXT, Terrence?
He's going to be in there for a little minute. I think he's going to be in there not too long, because we don't want him to you don't want him to be another Johnny Gargano, and then just one day randomly get called up. He's not going to be in it that long, but I think it's not going to be an immediate change. At least in my opinion, I don't think so. But he has the potential. So,
I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna say about 3 months tops. Because he's more than ready for the main roster.
Yeah,
he is. His look, he what personifies what maximum male model should be. His intro, his mannerism, that's maximum male model there. And
come out, I'm like,
yeah. I remember last week when I said that. There's our Max, and he looked at me he looked at us. I remember he gave me that look, like that smirk, you got it, kiddo. And so, he actually acknowledged that, and I was like, no, we'll see. Just a little bit of claim to fame there. But it was. We'll see on his career there. And now we go to a filler match, not for nothing, Before we get the filler match, we see the contestants in the Fatal 4-Way. We have Katana and Chase announced, Yulisa and Valentina. I like that Zanga gave that proper hype. So Zanga is the hype man for the two ladies. He's always with them like a playboy with the two beautiful ladies on his arms. You also have now Dynamite is throwing their name with Ivy Now and Tatum Plaxi. Personally, and then you got Toxic Attraction. Personally, I think Ivy Now's and Tatum Paxi are going to win the titles. That's just me. A little bit of a spoiler. I can see that there. The four ladies there, I'm excited with them. Do you think they left anyone out real quick, Terrence, or no?
Let's see. They got Casey in them. They got Toxic, the newly formed Ivy and Tatum, and the little Spanish team. I'm trying to see who else. I don't know if are there any more tag teams left in NXT 2.0? There are
literally no tag teams in NXT, or women tag teams, that is. I feel like I'm gonna say this. I feel like maybe they instead of giving them to Tatum and Ivy, I think they give them to. They should realistically give them to Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. They deserve it more than anyone, because they've been working their asses off for the past year.
I agree with you. They get the crowd pumping and get them going, but I something tells me they're not going to do something. I would love that. I think I will be the first mark to go nuts when they win it, because they're awesome. But something tells me. Something telling me that it goes back to Toxic Attraction, or we get this the Ivy and Tatum. I mean, because now Diamond Mine has both tag team facets there, and it also just draws Roderick Strong more crazy and more jealous.
I tell you what. I live for this. Toxic wins next week. have them feud with Ivy and Tatum.
Yeah.
That would make for an interesting storyline.
I agree. I agree with you.
You know?
I agree.
So you're both just gonna bypass Casey Catanzaro and
Well, no, because like I know they were like I was the first one to say like when Cora threw that tag team in the trash, like I know they was fumed about that because like they could have had a chance to beat Toxic Attraction, not knowing that Cora and Roxanne was gonna break up like a week after, or maybe 2 weeks or whatever it was, literally after that. So I know they were fuming because they could have had a chance, they could have took the titles, but so I'm not sleeping on them at all. I'm just saying like as far as Toxic and the newly formed, I guess, team Ivy and Tatum be interesting. That's just my opinion.
Indeed. We shall see. We shall see there because I think the ladies are going to be really good. All four ladies are going to bring it. The team we don't see winning is Julissa Leon and Valentina Ferranas. I don't see them winning. I'm sorry. They're great.
Yeah.
They're beautiful looking ladies. They're good ring competitors, but I'm sorry, ladies. I don't see you winning there.
There's nothing.
No. Unless Zangi comes in and interferes, who knows? You never know. Never say never, but we shall see. We can't wait for next week. We get the singles match of the ladies featuring Indy Hartwell taking on Adriana Grace. Now, Indy Hartwell is, to me, the NXT women's favorite, darling of the crowd. The women's people's champion, to me, is Indy Hartwell. She comes out, the crowd loves her. When they go to commercial break, she is there taking pictures and signing autographs, kissing babies.
Yeah.
You name it, you got it. Indy is there. She gets it. That's why I understand when they did the cuts, they cut the other young lady with her and when they did the cuts back in March, she made it, and it's because of what she does outside of the ring when the cameras are not going. She gets the crowd behind her. And Adriana Grace is the daughter of Santino Morella. As she comes out, the Cobra, everyone asking Indy and asking her to do the Cobra during the match to her, and she found it funny. But all in all, it was just a match. You see, one thing is good to see Adriana elevated from level up now to the main show, and seeing her work. And not for nothing, Adriana works well. She works fine. She's also a very beautiful lady. You could see development in her. She's got an it factor. Terrence? Samurai.
I lost my AirPod.
Okay.
What was the question, man?
Ariana Grace and Indy. I see there's an it factor in Ariana. She has an it factor that you could see her with time, and she's got a long way to go. But there's something there. Being a second generation wrestler, going forward, there's something there that she could develop there. She also plays the crowd well with the mannerisms and the eyes opening like her dad, I'm taking a bump here, and she sells it. And also Indy. It was a short match and it was a filler, yes, but it's good to see her getting that elevated and exposure. I thought it was fine where it was.
Yeah, I mean Ariana, I think she's already a character, like already. Like she doesn't really need to. She just has to like be there and just kind of minorly work on it a little bit. But she already has like things in place and stuff like that. Going. She has a lot of potential, especially because she's Santino's daughter. But not even that. Just you can tell. You can just tell like how she is. And then Indy, of course, like you said, she's not my darling, but as far as just like the whole NXT community, the crowd and stuff coming out to him and signing autographs and stuff like that. She's cool. She's all right. She's like when I first seen her, not to go off track a little bit, but she's like she's tall, man.
She is. She's tall. She's got a main roster look because she's got the height. She's also fit. Not too thin, not chunky. She's fit, and she fits a program there. Listen, and I'm guarantee, and I understand why, but if Lana could wrestle in the main roster, I could think an Indy Hartwell could do circles. That's just me.
Well, look at the names. Look at the difference between the names. Lana, she was just like progressive. She started off as like a manager and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Indy, even though I haven't been watching NXT as long, I can tell by just her, just looking at her and the way she moves in the ring. Just look at her, like even when they show her backstage, like look how confident she is, like just talking and stuff like that. Like she already looks. I think she's already ready for the main roster. If not, then she's damn near there. But I think she is. Like she looks main roster ready. Lana, in my opinion, she should just get a manager. That's just my opinion again. But
No, I agree
Indy,
with
I
you.
think she's ready. Comparing her to Ariana Grace, I think if there was like some kind of like who should go first to the main roster between just those two alone, not talking about every other diva in NXT, it'll be Indy before Ariana. You know.
Oh yeah, no, Ariana has about a year. She's got a ways. She's not ready for the main roster yet. She got ways to go with the moves and the way she moves.
Hmm.
But Indy, if you want to tell me we're going to approach a female to go to the besides Toxic Attraction, in my opinion, to
Hmm.
go up to the main roster, it's either Indy
Hmm.
Hartwell or Tiffany Stratton in my book.
Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany, she's growing on me a little bit. A little bit. I didn't like that little program that she had with Grayson Waller, even though I think it kind of helped a little bit because of where Grayson Waller is in his career, with especially in NXT and the crowd. So she gets that little heat being with him, but then I guess kind of like parting ways with that, and then just kind of going on her own a little bit and doing her own little thing. Yeah, I guess she has that. She's almost there. I would still say Indy though. Indy, she just looks confident as hell. You know,
Yes,
she looks
indeed.
very, very confident, and that's awesome.
Right,
I'll
and
be
we
surprised
see.
if she's not on the main roster later this year.
No, we'll see. We'll see if she goes up there. If they, especially they need an influx of talent of ladies. Samurai, has Indy been a tag team champion before?
Yeah, with Candice LeRae.
Candice LeRae. Okay, just wanted to know because if she could tag, we could. Maybe WWE needs to start making women's more teaming up and making women's tag. Something tells me with under Triple H's watchful eye, I think we're going to be emphasized with more tag team wrestling due to the fact of
Mm-hmm.
what we saw with FTR and the Briscoes. I think they're going to emphasize a little more of tag team. I don't know if it's going to be the male, but the females, because the WWE has a lot of good female talent they could showcase and really get over. But they gotta, I think we're about this time next year. They're gonna have a really nice crop of women tag teams, in my opinion. We're under this new leadership. It's gonna take some time, but I think they're going in the right direction. We
They
shall
have
see
to.
there. Yes, we shall see there. We come finally to the main event. The 8-man tag, the Diamond Mine, taking on
Hey, the Don,
my
huh? The
Don,
Don.
the Don, the D'Angelo family, Tony D'Angelo, you're
Don.
chanting Lorenzo, Joaquin Wild, Cruz del Toro, taking on
Oh
those three
man.
brothers, Judas, Brutus, uh, Damien Kemp, and the birthday boy, Roderick Strong. Now, the match starts while during the match, the whole NXT universe knows it's Roderick Strong's birthday. We know we don't like, he's kind of like a little bit of a pricky guy, but we all wished him a happy birthday. To me, that was touching because he kisses and he acknowledges the crowd. I love that. I love when we acknowledge those type of things. And I thought it came out classy, classy, classy. I loved it, Terrence. What's your thoughts on
Judy,
that?
Yo, I didn't. I was wondering because like, who was it? I was like, who was they saying happy birthday to? And then I just kind of like, oh yeah, they just talking about somebody else. I didn't like realize it until honestly you just mentioned. It. I was like, it was his birthday? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Yeah, I like Roddy. Roddy's awesome, man. He has like other people don't like him. I don't know why, but he was awesome, bro. He should be on the main roster.
I
The
mean,
problem. Yes, Samurai. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, I didn't see him acknowledge the crowd during when it said birthday.
He
Was
he
that good?
raises he raised his hand. He didn't look back. He threw a kiss to the wind. Like
Uh,
thank you. That's what it was. Just a
uh,
simple kiss to the wind. That was a thank you. Because he doesn't want to break character. It was the middle of the match, and and remember
Hmm.
the way he wasn't going to turn around to look at the crowd because it would have looked like just right now the way I'm. But no, he just threw a kiss up like that to thank you. He did that
Mm.
simple. Like it was really nice. I thought it was awesome. And I thought it was awesome there. That was merited an awesome chant. Foreman, even though Roderick Strong, we know, people don't like him. The reason why he's not liked because he's asked 2 occasions this year for his release from the WWE. He wants to go to AEW to be with Adam Cole and the Undisputed Elite, and he wants to leave the WWE. And that's why fans, us, were like, boo, you don't want to be with us. Get the step in. That's why he gets a lot of heat and slack from us, the NXT universe that don't like him. Terrence, so just to give you a backstory.
Oh, okay.
Now
okay.
I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
What?
My bad.
What?
You good? Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Now I think that with Triple H in charge, I'm gonna keep on reiterating this. He might not want to go now.
Well, who knows?
Yeah.
Because like Triple H. Well, that too, but Triple H has that rapport with because Triple H was behind Roderick Strong signing and Adam Cole and Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. So because Triple H is in charge, he may not want to leave now. He may have been just fed up with the way he has been booked and Vince and Bruce and things like that. So you never know. I mean, because he knew that once if he made it to the main roster, he was going nowhere.
With Vince in charge, yeah.
Yeah, with Vince in charge. With Triple H in charge, anything can happen. He may not want to leave now, but then he might want to be with his wife too. So,
True. Bro, guys, how excited are you that Triple H? Yeah, Stephanie and Nick Khan, but how excited are you that Triple H is really in charge now? That's dope, bro. That's insane. No more Vince, like literally. Because if Bruce Pritchard was still there, we all say, "Oh, that's Vince's guy." He's not there anymore. It's Trips. The game changes. No pun intended.
Yeah,
crazy,
that's expect the unexpected because we don't know what's going to happen. That's what makes us as wrestling fans excited and a little bit fearful because we don't know what we're expecting. But we all have a lot of optimism. It's going to be greater than poor. Mm-hmm. So that's what makes it exciting. But all in all, this 8-man tag, what a match! Of course, Tony D'Angelo and the family. The all 4 competitors, even two Stacks. Phenomenal, could wrestle really well, getting better week after week. Tony D'Angelo always gets the crowd going. The Creed brothers looking phenomenal. Julius, the way he was powerhouse. My goodness,
hype, man. He was hype too.
Yes, yes, they were hype. I'm a big fan of Damon Kemp as well. I really think the kid has got talent. He looked at his suplexes. Samurai, how did Damon Kemp, how did he look to you? Remember, he's the greenest one, or the wet behind the ears of the whole bunch. How did Damon Kemp look to you?
I mean, he looked more, more comfortable in the ring than he did the past couple of weeks. I mean, working. I mean, no surprise working with veterans like Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde. So I mean, it makes sense. He's gotten better in the ring. His fluidity is much more pronounced than it was a few weeks ago. I think that he's still got a long way to go, but now I think he can be himself, if that makes sense.
No, I got you. So we see a lot of false finishes, a lot of explosive move by the Diamond Mine, setting up with the Tony D'Angelo family there. We see Roderick Strong comes in there and he was just laying people out with that knee to that knee, knocking people out, right? But then we see an accidental move from Tony D'Angelo and Roderick hitting his own partner Julius in with the knee, knocking him out, to allowing Tony D'Angelo and the family to get the victory. 1, 2, 3. Now, there's a storyline being told here. I like it. I'm excited with it. Terrence, what's your thought?
They're still going through with this whole Diamond Mine, low key, not really getting along-ish kind of thing to me. Because I don't think they're, even though they had that whole 8-man tag team match. I think that was just kind of like a little, um, giving everybody a little bit of like a false hope as far as like Diamond Mine being on the same page, and like you know, quote unquote feuding with Tony D'Angelo and them. Now, don't get me wrong, that could be that they might actually go that direction. And that could be a great feud, but I think it's still more of a Diamond Mine um,
Internal.
situation here. Yeah. It was a great match though, man. I enjoyed it for real.
It was really good. And let me ask you, Samurai, do you want to see Diamond Mine break up a split? I enjoy them all together.
I mean, I've said this in the past when we talk about it. No,
That's why I brought it up.
I
That's
don't.
why I brought it up. Hey, Terrence, that's why I set him up, and I put it there so he can knock it out of the park.
I don't want to see them break up. I mean, they, like, if they break up, Roddy's going nowhere. I mean, he's, good in the ring, but he's just boring on the mic. He's not going anywhere. So they need Roddy to be in the group. So if he breaks up with the Diamond Mine, where's he gonna go? Nowhere. They got rid of the Cruiserweight Championship, which was a mistake. I hope they bring that back. He's not going for the North American Championship, but that title seems too stacked right now. No pun intended. The world title, I could see him going for the world title, but at the same time, he could win it, but also at the same time, I don't know if that's what he wants. I mean, like, what I would like them to do, I would like them to bring back, like, do another Cruiserweight Classic. Do something along those lines, and bring back more Ronaldo. Because the voice of NXT. I don't know if he signed a deal with AEW or not though.
No, they're in talks. No, not the official.
Oh, you talking about the guy that was like he was always like
the one that does the boxing for the one that's doing boxing that does boxing for Showtime.
He has the glasses and stuff like that. He did WWE. I like that guy. They should have kept him, man.
But see, also again, to my point, with Triple H in charge, he won't be bullied like by JBL.
That's the reports. Yeah,
yeah.
The reports. But all in all, we see that I don't want Diamond Man to split up either. Although, let me tell you something. For the past 2 weeks, I think Roderick Strong has done the best on the microphone, promo wise, as well as backstage with all the antics when he said, "Hey, what took you so long? You should have got here." I kind of like what I saw from Roderick Strong. He's got a personality here. Where Diamond Man goes, I hope they don't split. Although some people want to see them break up and get it over with. But why? If it's something, that little bit of a discord or distension gets in the way, and they keep winning champions, they're maybe they could say, Roddy, you're a diamond in the rough. You're rough with us, or you're rough, but you're becoming a diamond. While you have the Creed brothers with tag gold, then maybe you have Ivy Niles and Kate Paxley win gold. Although Paxley's not part of the Diamond Mine yet, but you could see in a world where they capture the women's tag team. Now you got 4 titles in that Diamond Mine range. They're breeding champions. Damien is another diamond in the rough. So I like that direction they go. I hope they don't break it up. I think they're just trying to spin out of Bivens leaving. And speaking about managers leaving, before we close the note, we saw Von Wagner and Robert Stone before the match mention about Sophia leaving to become a male model or being a model, and she wants to leave. That's on her. I don't give a crap. He said the explicit word, and I liked it. Von Wagner looks like a badass, and I really like what
old school, dude.
Yes,
old school. He looks very the girl that I usually go with. She's out of town right now, but she told me he looks like he's like carved out of the 80s or the 90s or something like that. Like he looks very. He doesn't even look like he belongs in NXT.
He looks like Big John Studd, like a cross between Big John Studd. Like
he's just a little bit more athletic.
Yes, and I loved it. Well, that would take it for our NXT review. I want to thank Terrence for joining us, Samurai, of course. And guys, give me your last thoughts before we say goodbye.
There are a few rumors going around that Matt Riddle is not going to be a part of SummerSlam.
Uh-oh.
That's not a rumor. I seen it before I got on the broadcast. I seen it say something about him. What is it? Breaking his what was it? What was it? Samurai? It was like some kind of.
He's injured.
Yeah, he's injured because of what happened on Monday. But like, what's going to happen? I think it's just part of the storyline. I mean, it could be an open challenge. You could have Carmelo Hayes come up and fight Seth Rollins.
I seen that too.
I heard that.
Well, I seen Carmelo and AJ tease too. Carmelo versus AJ Styles. Bro, that'd be.
I saw that too.
With the potential of them introducing an NXT superstar to fight Seth Rollins is impressive. I also think that there's another thing going around about. I saw somebody said on Twitter that Tony Khan thinks that with changes in the WWE, that his people that he signed for 5-year deals are not gonna leave to return to the WWE, and he's like, good luck with that. So I don't know about that. I think Tony Khan's just doing wishful thinking at this point.
Yeah. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, we'll see. Guys, I got to get rolling because I got a program to prepare, though. I want to thank you guys again. Hope we could do it again, Terrence. I hope you enjoy. Always welcome. Please, when we see each other on NXT the following day, we can always come down and break it up. Also, anytime you want to do SmackDown, Raw, the platform is always available. We want to thank you for joining us. Hopefully part of the Jedi family here. Always good to see you there. And guys, if you're not down with us, we got 2 words for you. Just subscribe to the Heal the Ring podcast. We are everywhere, and not just YouTube, Twitch, Rumba, in our Facebook group page, the Heal the Ring podcast page. Follow us anywhere you get your audio platform: Anchor FM, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. Just put BX Sports Jedi Network, and all the different programs are there, from MMA Weekly to baseball for the Yankees, for the Mets, Rangertown Republic, Jets and Giants, you name it, we're there. And of course, this is BX Sports Jedi Kev. We're going to be doing the Yankee Watch Along later on this evening. Come and join us if you're a Yankee fan or a Subway Series fan, where we invite you here. From myself, Terrence, Samurai, man, we say goodnight. Always pin life and always get over. We'll see you on the next time.
Awesome!
That's all it is.
You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up!
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might
you
grab
are
a
looking
bat, I
at the
don't know, my
youngest
rap, my
and
blood
fastest
boils
rising
over
star
like,
in
oh God, here
professional
goes. I lost all
wrestling
feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed?